settings, make sure I have recording in progress. All right, so I'll give about 5 more minutes. Give 1 second. Probably about 2 more. So it'll be 8:05. But no, East Coast are late for some. All right, I'll go ahead and get started. Good evening. I know everybody will want to know a little bit about futures. I'm going to actually probably do a 3-part training because it can be very overwhelming. So I'm going to try to keep it basic tonight. So I'm just going to go over a few different things here. If y'all have any questions throughout, please make sure you stop and ask. But this is just going to be like a straight up intro. And I'll actually go over and show an actual trade that I took. And it's going to be on an evaluation. I do have different accounts. I trade prop firm and I also trade my personal account. But I do not record myself trading my personal account. I do have live accounts with the prop firm, and I have additional accounts that I'm just working to pass there. So let's see here. We're gonna go ahead and get started. And I might have to stop throughout to let people in. All right. So quick overview. We're gonna do the introduction of futures, just giving you an overview of what futures, what they are, what they consist of. Going to go over some different commodities, the terminology, trading session, contract rolling, as that can become confusing to some. But it's just like one quad glitching. A second, and we're going to go over different brokers. So futures, what are they? They're just a derivative of a financial contract that allow traders to lock in the price of an underlying commodity. And what do they mean by commodity? You have different futures. You have energy, which consists of like crude oil and natural gas. You have agricultural. You have metals, which is copper, silver, platinum, gold. You have Bitcoin, which you can trade some of it, not all of it. And you can also trade Ethereum. And you had the mid cap 400s. You have softs, and the softs consist of like cotton, cotton, coffee, sugar, different things like that that you can trade also. And there's over 600 different futures that you can trade. And I'm not going to actually go through all of them. You can also trade the indexes. That's mostly what everyone trades. You can trade currency, bonds, interest rate, beats, and lumber. All right, the different indexes, and this is what a lot of people focus on the most. You have NQ, which is heavily derived of most of the tech industry. And then you have ES, which a lot of people play, and that's just going form with SPY. Then you have the Dow Jones, the Russell, and crude oil. Out of all of those, the NQ, crude oil, and the Dow Jones, they are very volatile. and can make you a lot of money, but they can break you also, and it will come back and get you quick. All right. So terminology. What can be confusing to some people, especially when they're going through, is the difference between points, handles, and ticks. So technically, points and handles, they are the same thing. And okay. What's a point? A point is for every dollar. So when they or a handle. So when they saying ES is moving 5 points, it's just move $5. Or NQ's move 5 points, it's move $5. So you have to be aware that the different futures they move differently. I know YM it doesn't move in ticks. So next we have the ticks. Also, the ticks is just 25 points of the move. So in Q, it moves 4 ticks, and the 4 ticks is going to equal $1. So let's say if it moves 4 ticks, it just moves 1 point, one handle. If it moves 5 ticks, you're just going to keep it simple and say it moves 5 ticks. And along with that, all the other terminology is the same as options, whether or not you're going long, you're going short. So that's going to stay the same if you're familiar with that. And then there are different styles that people play. They play the minis, which is a tenth of the actual, let's say the NASDAQ is a tenth of it. So you're not going through, like right now, NASDAQ is like at 14,700. You're not going to play that entire 14,700. You're going to play a mini contract of that, which is going to be a tenth or a 20th of that. A micro is a smaller version of the mini. The micro is again a 1/10 or 1/20th of that contract. So for example, we have NQ, which moves at $20 a point. So it's just it moves $5 a tick, $20 a point. So $5 a tick, which is every quarter, it moves $5. And for a point, it's going to move $20. So a micro of that is going to move 50 cents for every tick and $2 for every handle. So it's just breaking it down. 50 cents a tick when you're playing the micro, and $2 for every point or handle. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go back through and I'm give you just the mini and the micro price of it. In Q, one mini, one tick is $5. 1 point is $20. And that's when a lot of the money can be made. And especially if you understand the volatility of NQ. And we have the micro again, 50 cents, one tick, $2, 1 point. Same with ES. ES moves a little slower, but you can make a lot of money on ES as well because they're going to move $12.50 a tick. So for 1 point, it's going to move $50. You're going to get $50, whether to the long side or the short side. And the micro is going to move $1.25 a tick and $5 a point. With the Dow, you're just going to go $5 a handle, 50 cents a tick. With Russell, same thing, $50. And then you're going to go down to the micro part, which is going to equal $5. And then with crude oil trades completely different because it's going to move in just like a regular stock. And that's going to, when it moves one entire point, you're going to get $1,000. And one tick, you're going to get $100. All right. So with futures, unlike the regular market futures, you're going to trade. You can trade 23/6. I want to make sure I'm saying that right. You can trade starting. It's closed on Saturday. Make sure I say this right. And it is closed for Saturday. It closes Friday at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it opens back up Sunday at it's going to open back up Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it closes 1 hour throughout the day. So it's going to close, it closes every day, Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every day during the same time. Tuesday, same thing, 5 p.m. Wednesday, 5 p.m. So throughout. And you have the different trading sections. You have Globex. Globex is going to be open. Electronic trading times is just going to be moved through. Sorry. Throughout the night. And then you have the Asian sessions. I do have the times that I'll go through it and I'll post them through. You have the Asian sessions, you have the London sessions, New York morning sections, which is usually really volatile. Then you have the New York lunch section, which can be very volatile. And then of course that nice power hour time that can be very volatile as well. So when you're trading futures, you have to truly understand. It's just like understanding quiet witching. But when you're trading futures, when you hear everyone saying contracts is expiring, that's when people are starting to roll their contracts with futures. And some people, they will apologize for that. And you're going to roll them in quarters. So that first quarter is always going to start. They're going to be identified with an H at the end. If you're looking on the trading view, I always have just NQ1. I'm going to chart NQ1 throughout. But when I'm going to trade it on something else, I need to put in right now, I'll have to put NQ and then it'll be ZU and it'll come up with the year after that. So it'll come up for you, but they are all identified by a number at the end of at the end of the contract. So for the first quarter, March is going to be identified with an H. Then you have the second quarter, June is going to be identified with the M. And you have the September contract, which is going to be identified with the U. And the December contract, right, which we're currently trading, is going to be identified with a Z. And I'm going to show you that in Trading View as soon as I finish going through here. Okay, so there's a lot of different brokers that you can actually use to start trading futures. You can do NinjaTrader, Interactive Broker, TraderVate, TD. You can do your regular accounts with TD, Ameritrade, Schwab, TradeStation, Tasty Trades. And some of them, if you want to trade with your own capital, you can start with as little as 500. But here's the thing that with some of those brokers, you can lose more than what you actually have in the account. Some of them would not liquidate your account immediately, and you can end up owing them. And that's one of the big things that some people get afraid about when they're trying to trade futures. So if you're really wanting to trade futures, you have to really put the time in to study them. And I would say paper trade for sure before you start going in with your own capital or with anything, because you want to see how it moves. It's completely different from options, because with options you have the Greeks that you have to worry about. With futures, you don't have Greeks or anything. You're just trading what's on the chart. Of course, if you're and just utilizing your strategy, you don't have to worry about time decay or anything like that. You could put a swing on few months out and just let it sit there if you have the capital to let it just go and go to your target if you want to. So again, with futures is completely different. It's not giving you the theta decay that a lot of people are afraid of when they're trading options. So that's one of the best things about futures. Because me personally, I'm a scalper, so I'm going to get in, I'm a scalp the trade, especially if I have it going to my target. Everyone has different strategies. You know, I know what works for me, and I basically use what I am going to do and what I'm trading. And let's see here. So I'm going to give you a quick example of an NQ trade. Like I said, there's a lot more to futures. It's very in depth. There's a lot that you have to go through, but it's not as difficult as everyone tries to make it seem. Sometimes it can be a little fearful, but you do just want to put the time in to study those charts and just go through. I have my way of doing it, and everyone else have their way of doing it also. So let me bring down a second. And I'm just show you just different price action and how it moves. I think this is a trade from I think in late mid September, and this is just how it moves. It's clear. I took the sound off of there. There was some stuff that I was saying. Right. So that's one of the benefits of trading. Because just like I know I have my zones and I have everything there, so I just play exactly what I saw on the chart. I know my initial reaction was to hold to my target, which was 15,366. But usually I won't hold to target. I try not to get as greedy. Like I said, that was NQ, and you just saw it go from 0 to $380, and that wasn't even to a minute. I trade off the 30-second chart, so that was a 30-second. That was most likely a minute and a 45-second trade that I just completed, and that's why I do still focus on options, but I think there's more to be tapped into when it goes to futures. But again, I wouldn't just jump in there without fully understanding. So I do suggest that if you want to trade futures, it's not easy. Our futures chat is one of the best that you will actually come across. And I'm not being biased because I'm in here. I'm in a few other rooms too that I just peep into in our futures chat, especially when they go through and talk about their levels and everything. This is one of the best that you will come to. Um, Again, it's not as difficult. You don't have to go through as much with options. You just take your time out and look and see what's going on. You can draw your zones. You can trade it how you want to. You can utilize the strat. It's just like trading options, but without all the other, again, time decay that goes on in the Greeks that's behind the options. So let's see here. Anybody have any questions about anything? And please don't be shy. And I usually live trade throughout the day, and I usually try to talk through my charts. I'm talk through my trades, and I usually explain why I'm getting to a trade because I'm a support and resistance trader. So I try to keep it simple for me. So anybody have any questions about anything I wasn't clear on, anything I need to dive deeper into? What do you actually want to know about the futures market?
Hey, Feva, do you trade with your own funds or do you utilize one of the brokerages?
So I trade with my own funds. I utilize TradeAvate. I trade, and I also trade with prop firms also. And I have uh 7 live accounts with the prop firm. And when I mean live account, I actually get paid for trading them. And so the money that I earn over there, I can actually request it out to me. And I actually have just 2 evaluations going right now that I just passed one today for me to actually have another live account with them. So I do trade with TradeAvate with my personal funds, and I have a TradeAvate account with a prop firm, but I also have Ninja Trader with live accounts also with a prop firm.
Gotcha. Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, so live account and prop firms, those the same things?
Yes. Well, it depends. Like I do have a live accounts with prop firms. That means I pass their test, their evaluations that they usually throw out. But it's
Mhm.
basically because they'll give a test, and of course you have so many days that you can actually trade that. And sometimes I suggest when you're learning that you do that, because like if you want to, some people if you don't want to pay for live data, then I'll suggest you do that with them and try it out for a few days, because sometimes like live data can actually be costly. I think trade. I know some people have Trading View, and you still have, if you want to do paper trading on Trading View, I think you have to have live data that can usually run you like $14. And some prop firms, they when they do sales, they have accounts that you can get for like $14 to do it. So why not try it that way? So it one second.
Mhm.
So I do have live accounts with them. And so I like I said, I do get paid with them when I trade those accounts.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Anybody else got any questions?
Which would you start an account with? It's like how much would you fund it?
I started my account, my personal account, because I was a little nervous going in with my own funds, and I did it earlier, not earlier this year. It's
You should start. You should start off with like 50K in it, and you can bring it up to 150K in a few trades. 50K of your own cash.
You
That's
can, but I would suggest you start, especially now. Don't listen to Sal up here. You can start off with 500. I started my trading, my trader bait one with 500, and I started with micros, especially since micros, they're smaller and you only need $50 per contract that you had. And since I was trading it with micros, I started with 500. Um, So, and I did that with TraderBait. Well, I do with TraderBait.
And did you have a certain amount of ticks or handles in mind that you wanted to grab every day?
Yes, since I since I'm a scalper, I was trying to go for, because commission can start adding up quickly, but that's when you pay for like the lifetime fees, and when you pay for lifetime fees, it usually be a little cheaper for you with commission. I think with TraderBait, their lifetime fee is 1,500, and that'll cut the commission price in half. And so I go for at least 12 ticks, which is only like $4. And when you're trading NQ, you're going to get that almost instantly, as you saw on there, because NQ can range from, NQ average trading range is $272 right now. But like for instance, today, although we did have news, it moved, I think, 380 some dollars. I could be wrong. Well, yesterday, I'll have to say yesterday since market's open now, with futures. So I usually go for, well, with my own funds, I was going for at least 5 to 10 points. But I usually do the ticks. Anything with 12 ticks, I was taking my money.
Gotcha. Thank you.
No problem. I would say this, ICT does work well with futures, especially if you want to be, well, not works well. ICT is great, especially with futures. I'm not a holder. I don't hold. I only hold options. I'm not holding on anything long, especially with the volatility of the market. And I usually trade off the 30-second chart, which I completely love. And I'll just use the higher time frames to either keep me in the trade if it's going to my target. So, and I'm primarily in a queue. trader. I am starting to trade a little of the Dow and the Russell, but you will only see me trading on screen if I'm live trading with you all for with NQ and maybe most likely MNQ. And the reason why I would trade only MNQ on screen because I don't like to show people how sometimes NQ can move rapidly and pay you big. So I don't want people to start gaining FOMO and just go start blowing accounts because it can happen quickly. With futures, you can blow an account within a good 30, no, I'm say 10 minutes, especially if you don't have the patience or the discipline. With futures, you have to truly be disciplined to take almost any trade. All right. Are there any other questions? Keep in mind, I'm just giving the a lot of the basics tonight because again, futures can become very overwhelming. It's not as difficult as everyone make it. Again, so the terminology is going to be the same as options. Either you're going long or you're going short, and you just don't have the Greeks. That's one of the only things that's going to be different. Other than that, the session 2 would go more into deep diving and just unpacking more of different trades that you can actually take because like I said, you can trade up to 600. There's over 600 different futures. So just look and see what you want to trade. Study the chart. Like I said, I'm studying right now just the Dow and YM. Never traded them. I think I started like 2 weeks ago, and I'm starting to trade different trading sessions too. Just so since I live trade, I want to be available for some people throughout the day. So it's not as difficult. A lot of people have started catching on to it, and they're becoming very successful. And now they're moving out to trading on their own, which can be very rewarding. Any questions? Any other questions?
Are there any time sessions that you just stay away from that early morning, be kicking my futures behind? So I can't even do it before 10 o'clock.
Yes, I do trade in the morning. Me personally, that's you definitely have to know yourself as a trader. The volatility, I do like it, but I love the opening. I don't trade the opening, but I do wait like first at least 5 to 10 minutes before I even take a trade. And sometimes it can create FOMO, especially if since I watch the 30-second chart. If you see that quick pop with NQ instantly, whether it's a pop or a drop, it's going to be at least 40, somewhere between 40 to 50 handles. Sometimes it's 100 handles in a day. So it's going to give you that move. I don't trade that. I don't trade even if it start doing that instant reversal. I won't trade it. I'll wait and watch it, and sometimes I'll feel like I'm losing money, but that just comes in with the discipline part. And once you've been burned so many times, you learn to not even touch it. So if that morning session is just really kicking you, wait till 9:45. And like even today, I forgot jobs numbers was coming out today, and I got caught in the trade, and that trade made me shut my day down early, just because I forgot. Because I usually wait 5 minutes after open, 5 to 10 minutes after open. I took a trade at 9:55. Got job numbers was coming out. You don't hold trade longer than 5 minutes. Got caught in it. Lost, I think, $600 once. I felt my greed coming back, trying to get that back. Lost another $400. I was done for the day. So definitely have to stick to your plan and rules. If you know that opening session is getting you, wait till about 10:15, 10:30. It still can get a little volatile at time, but at least it'll settle down. Definitely depending on what you're trading. I don't trade ES. To me, that moves too slow for me. Because I like the moves. So
Which one is the Ferrari ticker? NQ, huh?
Ferrari, you can do NQ and you can do the Dow.
Yeah.
Go ahead, do
I
the
mean,
Dow.
now see, I'm listening to that shit, but see, now see, I'm sure some people like, man, fuck that. You can lose all that money, but like, I'm like, shit, fuck that. We could double that motherfucker quick.
And crude oil. Now, I used to trade crude oil early this year. But crude oil, it can really move and it can break you too quickly. So if you really like the volatility, I like NQ, but crude oil, it moves.
What about wheat?
Wheat, I've never traded wheat. Never traded wheat. I was about to trade copper on Friday. Copper moves a little different. I was going to do a long swing on, but if I haven't tested it out, I usually don't do it. Wheat, I never traded that. I'm an index person, so I'm starting trying to move a little, become a little diversified. So I'm testing out a few things. I might try some agriculture just to see how it moves.
Do you have any particular indicators that you use? I like to use like the TDI to kind of judge exhaustion. But is there anything that stands out to you?
I'm going to show you my chart. And I'm sorry, y'all. My chart is really ugly. It's really ugly. I'm not at, and I'm going to tell you why I moved away. And I'm going to move from this one. I'm not going to show y'all that one. That's my 30-second chart. If you come to live trading, you would definitely see what I use. I just started. Those are my higher time frame. I'm going to bring my lower time frame here. I just started using VWAP, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I have another trader that trades with me, and we talk a lot about VWAP, and VWAP bands. So I just started using those. I always use the standard deviation, so I keep that. So other than that, I use the pivots, the in VWAP, and that's it. Pivots and VWAP. And because I go through and I draw, and I'm about to show you why I don't use anything else. And since, again, I'm a scalper. So keep that in mind once you see my chart. Let me hide something really quick. This. And I know some people say it can be a little overwhelming and confusing, but I don't use anything else. I know it says 6 indicator, most likely I'm hiding most of everything, but pivots and the VWAP band is all I use, because since I'm trading off 30-second charts, I'm going to go through, and when I find support and resistance on my 30-second chart, I'm going to mark it, especially if I'm trading intraday. But keep in mind, I'm a scalper, so I scalp through. I'm going to have everything there for me, and I draw my levels off the weekly, and weekly, daily, monthly, and 4-hour. And then throughout the day, I'm going to draw. I'm going to create. They're going to create themselves on the 30-second chart. So usually, I'll trade from level to level on my 30-second chart. So, like I said, you definitely have to find out what works for you. Everything else, I used to trade. And I just have my volume indicator there too. I used to have a lot of different things on my chart, but once I was like support and resistance, that's all I need. And just VWAP. That's all I've been using here lately, and I've been very consistent and profitable with it. So, and that's especially since I just scalped. I'm not going to hold a trade longer than maybe 5 minutes. and 5 minutes too long for me.
Excellent.
All right, let's see. Any other questions? Sorry about that. It's cold. So I'm getting cold. A cold. Oh. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back through here and I'm going to edit this. I'm going to put post a video, but I'm also going to have include videos of just the different what do you call that? The different features and how they move and operate. And I'll actually put the trading recaps of them on, I guess, over in the education channel also. But like I said, futures is a bit difficult. I think people are just afraid because they are unaware. But it's just like the first time you decide you want to go and trade options. So there's a lot of people here that can actually assist you with it. And I truly definitely don't mind helping you. If you would just want a different understanding when I live trade in the morning, I definitely tell you why. I'm trying to tell you why I'm getting in a trade, and I'm telling you why I'm exiting trade. But I'll actually let you know as soon as I enter the trade, where am I going to hold it to. If you want to have just a different understanding of it there, if you want to see it live. Let's see here. So right now I'm creating videos of trading in Q. I have someone with me that does ICT. So, I'll have them do videos for how they trade with ICT. But again, it's going to be live. You can definitely check out the futures chat throughout the day when they have their levels and zones, and they have their terminology there on how they're trading that, which can be very helpful. But within the next 2 weeks, I'm going to have host a different course, but it's going to be just more in depth and not just the terminology and the focus of the different futures that are available to actually trade. It's going to give you more concept of how to trade it and what to trade and how to look for it. And basically, hopefully, you'll be able to find your niche and your trading style as you go through it. So if y'all don't have any other questions, I'll go ahead and start converting the video, and I will go ahead and start creating the schedule for the next class or the next lessons that we have. All right.
Thank you, Feva.
Thank you.
No problem. Y'all have a great night.
Thank you. Get better.